thank you for being here. This meeting is being recorded and will be transcribed as required. Therefore, I ask that you state your name before commenting. At this time, I ask Nikita Fortune to indicate who is on this call.
Hi, this is Fred.
Hi, Fred.
How are you doing?
Welcome. I think we're all set then.
Yep.
Why don't we just identify ourselves, I guess. I'm Nils Olson, just for the record.
This is Committee Member Jeanette Jurasek.
Committee Member Fred Floss.
Okay, we're all here. Okay, let me find my place here.
I think
first
you
order of
call
business.
the roll of the. Yep.
Okay, yeah, we can call the roll.
I was going to say I think you did just call the roll. I'll record that as the roll.
Okay. Then we'll go to our first order of business, which is to approve the minutes from the March 23rd, 2020 committee meeting.
What's going on?
Director Olson?
Where'd he go?
Okay,
So moved.
I can hear you. Okay.
You muted everybody.
Okay, I seem to be hearing muted and unmuted with some frequency.
Unmute every.
Yeah, I think we can unmute everybody on this one.
There we go.
There's just three of us. So we have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, changes, or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor to approve the minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We have one agenda item remaining today, which is to review the final BFSA 2020-21 budget and the related 2021-2024 financial plan, and to recommend its approval to the full board. This past March, this committee approved the public posting of the draft budget and financial plan on the BFSA's website. No comments were submitted to the BFSA. The final budget and financial plan have been provided under tab 1 of the board book. Based on events pertaining to COVID-19, it was necessary to make certain adjustments to the preliminary budget, which I'll ask Jeanette to comment on.
Thank you very much. This is Jeanette Robe, and I will preface my comments beginning with certain requirements related to budget reporting with New York State. The New York Code Rules and Regulations, Title II, and it's Part 203.8, it requires state public authorities to inform the state controller in writing at any point during the fiscal year when the CFO learns of the potential financial impact of any adverse development that would materially affect either the budget or the financial plan. So as of this past Monday, some literature and some guidance has been provided from the Office of the State Controller as it relates to adhering and meeting these requirements over the next year. And they have asked that in order to assist them, that we file budget impact templates with them on a quarterly basis moving forward over this next year as opposed to our usual annual basis. So I did want to preface my comments by that statement. So our preliminary budget was submitted to this committee on March 23rd during the beginning stages of the adverse economic impact from the COVID-19 situation. This situation is being monitored continually by our office. It was necessary to revise the budget to reflect the impact of COVID-19 on estimated revenues. Sales tax, as budgeted, now reflects a year-to-year decrease of 17.6% or $15.4 million. The forecast for 2020 has also been recast, and it is reduced by $10 million from our preliminary projection. The budget estimate for the prior year was conservatively developed, and therefore the year-to-year budgetary impact is not as severe. The forecast for the current fiscal year projects a year-to-year decrease in sales tax revenue of $2.8 million, or 3% for the year in city sales tax, and a corresponding $1.4 million, or also 3% for the district sales tax. 2019-20 was the first year that the state collected and remitted sales tax on Internet sales, which was subject to state legislation passed in 2019. And this has offset the losses encountered over the last quarter, which have been substantial. I'm just looking at the sales tax schedule to give you a kind of an idea of what has occurred over the last quarter. We saw sales tax beginning to decline with the second sales tax transmission in April, which is usually the middle of the month. And that was a slight decrease year to year of 2.5%. Since then, every sales tax transmission to us has declined from a low of 23% to a high of 36%. So it's been a very drastic reduction in sales tax over this last quarter. State aid in the budget is reduced by 20% to $129 million, and that's based on current estimates. With respect to operating expenses, salaries are further adjusted downward in anticipation of the economic impact to BFSA and reflects a 2% decrease year to year. The related payroll taxes reflect this reduction also, and although it's minor, I had proposed a small increase in professional development of $500 back in the March budget that since was brought to the same level as last year. Our operating budget totals $980,298 and represents a 1% decrease on a year-to-year basis, and this is in consideration of the expected economic downturn. Are there any questions that I can try to answer?
We're carrying forward a budget item for litigation, right?
We are carrying forward a budget item for litigation, and this is because in the event it would be necessary to be involved in those type of transactions, if it wasn't budgeted for, it would create an adverse impact on the City of Buffalo, would trigger various reporting requirements up to the state level. So to keep it in the budget allows the smoothing of that expense within the city's budget, and any budgetary positive, which we have seen over the last several years, is a budgetary positive to the City of Buffalo.
Okay, so our actual decrease in the budget might be even a little more than 1% then, assuming that there is no litigation, which there is no litigation.
Correct, and we have substantially underspent our budget annually, primarily because of the litigation. That's correct.
Right. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear because it's actually a very responsible budget in terms of decrease in expenses. Any questions or comments?
The legal services line includes or could include not just litigation, but bond proceeds, bond counsel, for example.
Correct.
I would assume so.
Any type of that's correct. There's a line for general counsel expenses, and then there's a line for litigation, but those can be treated collectively in the event it was necessary.
Okay, so if we assisted the city in deficiency in bonds, then we have enough there.
We would, although those type of expenses that are incurred directly for the issuance of a bond typically are built into the cost of issuance.
Oh, they're part of the
paid
bond.
for with proceeds. Yeah, proceeds from the
Sure.
filing.
Got it. And then that's amortized. Yes, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Anything else?
You're welcome.
Okay. I request a motion to recommend the approval of the 2021 budget and the 2021-24 financial plan by the full board.
So moved.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Passed unanimously. Is there any other business to be considered by this committee? Okay, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that, and
Seconded.
it'll pass by acclamation. Yes, nobody wants to prolong it. So we will stand adjourned, and we'll reconvene for the full board meeting.